This is the western end of Pinchin Street here in Whitechapel, and on the 10th of September 1889, a notorious event took place here. Only moments south of Burner Street, where Jack the Ripper had murdered Elizabeth Stride the previous September, Pinchin Street stood very much in the heart of the slums. But on passing by here in the early hours of that morning, 36-year-old PC William Pennett had found the streets to be quiet. The arches on the left-hand side here, at the time, weren't bricked up as they are now, and Pennett could see that 3 homeless men were sleeping in the one second from the end, but the last arch was empty and nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. He headed back around his beat, arrived back here minutes later at 5:40 a.m, but was then surprised to see something unusual. In the corner of this last archway he could see, just inside, someone had left a bundle, and he was certain that it hadn't been there minutes earlier. With his curiosity aroused, he stepped closer to investigate. It was tied with string, and so he opened it up, but on doing so was shocked to find that it contained a woman's torso, with the legs and head severed and missing, the abdomen cut open, and the intestines spilling out. It was decomposing, smelled awful, and it seemed almost unbelievable that someone could have brazenly carried it there in the brief time that he was gone without anyone noticing. Pennett at once summoned assistance, and when assistance arrived, the body was quickly removed to the mortuary. At shortly before 6 o'clock, Scotland Yard then received a telegram. "Whitechapel again," it said. Whoever the victim was, she would never be identified, but a post-mortem report would determine that she'd been around 40 years old, stood around 5 foot 3 inches tall, and had dark brown hair. Marks and bruising across her arms and back showed that she'd been tied, beaten, and possibly tortured before dying, and with her bones cut cleanly through, she'd been dismembered with a saw. It was the opinion of the police that the murder had taken place around 4 or 5 days earlier, in a house somewhere immediately nearby, and that the killer had simply kept the body with him while it decomposed before finally choosing to dump it only moments before Pennett found it. He might have been watching him. The crime, however, was determined to be of different origin to the Jack the Ripper murders. The manner of dismemberment led police to believe instead that it had been the work of the embankment killer, who had previously left similar decapitated torsos around London and thrown various severed body parts into the Thames. Of the 2 killers, this original 136-year-old newspaper noted, the embankment killer was by far the more scientific and showed fiendish surgical skill. With Jack the Ripper dominating the headlines, he may have been making a deliberate statement by appearing in Whitechapel, but whoever he was never identified. I'll see you back here next week for another Morbid Monday.